love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always...
Namaste friends. In today's lecture, what we'll be seeing is what is an EC2 hibernation and EFS. We have basically touched upon the different storage systems, EC2, EBS, EFS, FSX. So EC2 we also saw lots of hands-on, and we are keeping on hands-on every time. EBS the same, elastic block storage, and EFS would be elastic file storage. So before we go into EFS, which has a hands-on demo, we will actually see what an EC2 hibernation is. So what is an hibernation? An hibernation is putting something to sleep. You know, it is basically in the sleep mode, or it is not totally shut down. Okay, there are two things here. A person is sleeping, but the person is not dead. Okay, so what does it mean when the person is actually sleeping or in the sleep mode? Okay, let's actually, see that. So what we have actually learned is we have seen how to stop an EC2, terminate an EC2. Okay, so if you want to stop the instance, the data is kept on the disk. Okay, and will remain on the EC2 till the instance is started. If the instance is terminated, the entire data is lost. I'll come again because I want to come again. If the EC2 is stopped, you can still preserve the data. Once a EC2 instance restarts, it will actually restart the data. But if you terminate it, even the root volume is terminated, and we have seen the root volume. Okay, crystal clear, right? Let's move on. So what happens when we actually start the EC2 instance? There is something called as a bootstrap. Remember the sudo, the yum updates, the initial thing which actually starts. The entire operating system boots up. Okay, and the application can start. It is like, you shut down your machine, your computer, and then you restart it, as compared to making your machine go into the hibernate mode. Okay, your computers. Okay, so this takes some time. So what is an EC2 hibernation? So this is where the EC2 hibernation is actually coming into picture. When you hibernate, you don't entirely stop it. You just perform a hibernation, which is sleeping. So basically suspend it. Okay, a person is not dismissed but only suspended. Okay, so hibernation it saves the contents from the instance memory. Okay, we persist the instance ABS root volume. We persist that root volume in any attached. Okay, so this is not terminated, this does not go like termination. We persist it, and we actually we actually save the content, so that when you restart, it is not restarting from the entire thing, and there is no restarting because it's just waking up from sleep. So when you come out of the instance of hibernation, so basically when you're actually coming out of the sleep, it is restored, the RAM contents are reloaded. Okay, so this is how. First is, it is running, EC2 instance is running, we hibernate, which is put to sleep. It is stopping. Here the entire hibernation mode is actually happening. Once you restart, actually comes. Again, remember, we are not shutting down the computer or shutting down the EC2. So it is not like stopping it, where basically yes, it is stopped, it will restart, and the entire boot volume, bootstraps and stuff of that nature restarts. The application restarts. It takes some time. It is not like that. Just as imagine shutting down your computer and restarting, as compared to hibernation. Okay, so in this case, that is it is not slow as stopping and restarting. And again, when you terminate, the entire data is lost, including the root volume. That headache is also not here. All right. So in the hibernation, it boots much more faster. Okay, because it is in memory. It is used for long running process and services that take time to initialize, which we actually talked of. Okay, this is why the hibernation is coming, and I trust now it will actually start making sense. All right. So the hibernation preserves the in RAM, which is much more faster. It must be less than 150 GB, because the more and more it is going to hang up. Okay, and there are some instances which is actually familiar, and you can actually use it in Linux, Windows, Amazon Linux, Ubuntu and stuff of that nature. you can't hibernate anything more than 60 days. This is the most important. You can't hibernate anything more than 60 days. Okay, it is available for on demand and reserved. So which means like the spot is not there. Okay, so on demand, spot, reserved, dedicated, right? So which means it is not there for spot and dedicated, but is there for on demand and reserved, the hibernation. All right, now let's actually talk of elastic file system. We talked of elastic block storage, and we'll also be seeing a lab on the elastic file system. It's a managed network file system. Okay, it actually works with EC2 instances on multiple availability zone. It is just like a file. Okay, it is highly available, scalable, and how it is expensive. Okay, so it is great for content management, where you can actually share your content between EC2 instances, this file, because you're just sharing the file. Web servers, it is also like extremely good for web servers in a single folder structure. Forget about the protocol, forget about the compatibility. The encryption used at rest is KMS, which we already saw. It scales up, it is pay per use. Okay, but other than that, it is compatible with Linux, and Windows is not supported at this juncture. All right, so the EFS performance is thousands of concurrent connections. Okay, this is like it can actually support thousands of concurrent connections. Like imagine, when you have 2 or 3 persons connecting, it will actually slow down, right? But here it is thousands. It is 10 Gbps throughput, and it is a petabyte scaling. All right. Okay, so we have two things. You can set what performance characteristics you want, a general purpose or a maximum input in output, which is used for big data, media processing, etc. All right, so the storage tier, it actually allows you to move from one tier to the other tier, okay, which is basically standard and infrequent, which you have already seen that. All right, so before we actually go there, let's actually go to the hands-on lab and let's actually see what it is here. All right, so I have my services. So in my services, if I don't find it on my left hand side, what will I do? I will actually type in EFS. So the EFS is here. Okay, so let me actually go to my EFS and let me actually create my file system, and I can say my first EFS. I can use the same default VPC. We'll be covering about VPC later, and I can use a standard but not one zone, but this is default. So I'm in the Northern Virginia area, so I'll be using the VPC in the Northern Virginia area. So if I actually create it, boom, it's already encrypted, and this is what we saw. It is creating. It is not yet created, but it is creating. So yeah, so now if you see the first this thing available, it has been created, matter of seconds. So if I actually open this, it is a general purpose, it is encrypted, life management. It can transition out of this infrequently accessed. So this monitoring, this tag, this file system policy, the access points, the network, okay, and the replications, all these things are there. So we can actually either detach or we can actually attach, okay, to any of these things, which you are not going to be doing this. So this is how you would actually create this EFS. Okay, so the access point, okay, so this file system, this is how you would actually create, and you can actually create a file system. Okay, this we already created it, so that we don't want to create another one. So this is like viewing the details. And if what I would do is, since it's a file system, I will delete this, because, and by deleting, I confirm the relation by entering the file system ID. I need to confirm this. I will take this, copy, I will paste it, and I'll confirm it. So now it is deleting the mount targets. You can actually see this here. I can close this. The moment it is deleted, you'll see, because I don't want to pay extra money, because these are quite expensive. Okay, so that is what. So it will be deleting, and I can actually refresh. So while this is deleting, yeah, now it is deleted. So you can see this is gone. Okay, very nice. So now let's actually come to here and let's actually see this. What did we learn? It's suppose a network file system. You only pay for the storage you use. It can scale up to petabytes. It can support thousands of concurrent NFS connections. Okay, the data is stored in multiple availability zone. We saw that, or we can also go for one zone. It is a read after write consistency. I trust you have actually understood what a hibernation is and what a EFS is with the hands-on lab. If you have any questions, always feel free to contact me. I'll try to help you to the best of my abilities. Till we see next time, take care, cheers, and thank you.